Burbank, California, NBC Studios, March 23, 1971. Tuesday night, 7:45 p.m. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson is about to begin its recording. The audience is already seated, 200 excited people waiting for the night's entertainment. The cameras are positioned, the technical crew makes the final lighting adjustments, and backstage there's a controlled buzz. Tonight will feature three main guests. Johnny Carson, of course, the host who turned this show into the most watched on American television. Susan Mitchell, a rising Hollywood actress, known for her roles in romantic comedies and for her sharp comedic personality in interviews. And Bruce Lee, a martial arts instructor from Hong Kong, who recently appeared as Kato in the series The Green Hornet, and is stirring curiosity in Hollywood with his kung fu demonstrations. Bruce is backstage, wearing a traditional black Chinese outfit, calm and centered. He was invited to demonstrate some martial arts techniques and talk about his philosophy. He isn't famous yet, not in the way he will become. He's a curiosity, an exotic novelty for the American audience that has never seen anything like what he does. Susan Mitchell is in the makeup chair, reviewing her mental notes, preparing the jokes she plans to make. She's quick, sharp, and knows how to steal the scene. She's been on this show 4 times before and always gets big laughs. Tonight she's confident, ready to shine. The show begins. Johnny Carson makes his classic entrance. The curtain opens, the band plays, the audience applauds. The first 15 minutes are Johnny's opening monologue, jokes about politics and pop culture. The audience laughs. The rhythm is perfect. Everything is flowing as it should. Then Johnny announces the first guest. Please welcome Susan Mitchell. She enters in an emerald green dress, waving to the crowd, sitting in the chair next to Johnny's desk. She's charming, funny, telling stories about the filming of her latest movie, about an eccentric director, about a dog that ruined 3 takes in a row. The audience loves it. Johnny laughs genuinely. She's in her element. After 10 minutes of light conversation, Johnny changes the tone. So Susan, you know our next guest is Bruce Lee, the kung fu instructor. Have you ever seen kung fu before? Susan smiles, that smile that signals a joke is coming. Kung fu? She drags the words on purpose, imitating an exaggerated and offensive Asian accent. Oh yes, Johnny, it's that thing where they jump and yell and make funny noises, right? The audience laughs. Some laugh loudly. Others feel uncomfortable, but the general laughter drowns out any hesitation. Johnny laughs too, but there's a brief pause, a moment where he realizes maybe this went too far. He tries to soften it. Well, Susan, I think you're going to be surprised by what he can do. Susan doesn't catch the warning tone. She's excited, feeling like she's killing it. Oh, I'm sure, Johnny. I'm sure he's going to break a lot of wooden boards and make a lot of hi-ya sounds. She makes an exaggerated karate gesture with her hands, and the audience laughs again. Backstage, Bruce Lee is watching on a monitor. His expression doesn't change. He doesn't look angry. He doesn't look offended. He simply observes. One of the producers approaches, embarrassed. Mr. Lee, I'm so sorry about that. If you want to cancel your appearance, we would completely understand. Bruce shakes his head slightly. No problem, I'll go on. Johnny Carson announces the next guest. And now, please welcome Bruce Lee. Bruce enters the stage with calm, measured steps. The audience applauds, but there's something different in the reception. There's curiosity, but also that residual laughter, that mocking tone that Susan set. He shakes hands with Johnny, waves to Susan, who smiles back with an expression mixing amusement and condescension. He sits down. Johnny starts the interview. Bruce, thank you for being here. You're a martial arts instructor and you've developed your own style, right? Bruce responds in his clear, present Chinese accent. Yes, Johnny. I developed a philosophy called Jeet Kune Do. It's about honest expression. It's not about rigid styles or rehearsed moves. It's about being like water. If you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Be water, my friend. It's a deep, philosophical explanation. The audience is silent, trying to process it. But then Susan laughs. Not a loud laugh, but audible enough to be picked up by the microphones. Be water? She repeats, with a mocking tone. That's beautiful, Bruce. Very poetic. She looks at Johnny. Johnny, are you going to be water too? The audience laughs again. Johnny smiles, but there's discomfort in his eyes. He realizes this is getting out of control. Bruce doesn't react visibly. He simply looks at Susan for a moment. Then he turns to Johnny. Johnny, Would you like to see a demonstration? Johnny nods immediately, relieved to change the subject. Yes, absolutely. We have some boards here for you to break if you want. Bruce shakes his head. I don't need boards. He looks directly at Susan. Maybe Susan would like to participate in the demonstration, the audience murmurs. Susan laughs, surprised. Me? Participate? She looks at Johnny, expecting him to make a joke, but Johnny is curious now. He wants to see where this goes. Bruce stands up, extends his hand to Susan. It's very simple. I just need you to stand up and hold something for me. Susan hesitates, but the audience starts applauding, encouraging her. She can't refuse without looking like a coward. She stands up, still smiling, still treating it like a joke. Okay, Bruce, let's go. Let's do your kung fu trick. Bruce asks a stage assistant to bring a thick cushion, the kind used in martial arts training. He hands the cushion to Susan. Please hold this against your chest, with both hands. Hold it firmly. Susan takes the cushion, pressing it against her body. That's all? She asks, still with that mocking tone. Bruce nods. That's all. Just hold it firm and don't let it drop. He takes 3 steps back, creating about 2 meters of distance between them. The audience is now completely silent. There's something in Bruce's posture, in the way he moves, that captures total attention. Johnny Carson is leaning forward in his chair. Susan is still smiling, but there's a slight uncertainty in her eyes now. Bruce assumes a relaxed stance. His hands are at his sides. He breathes calmly, deeply. Then he looks at Susan. Are you ready? Susan laughs nervously. Ready for what? For you to give me a little pat on the cushion? Bruce doesn't respond with words. He simply moves. It's a motion that starts in the feet, travels through the leg, crosses the hips, explodes through the torso, and releases through the fist in a perfect wave of kinetic energy. He advances in an explosive step, and his fist hits the cushion with an impact that produces a loud sound, a thud that echoes through the studio. Susan Mitchell flies backward, literally flies. Her feet leave the ground. She travels almost 2 meters through the air before landing seated, the cushion still clutched against her chest. She's unharmed. The cushion absorbed all the impact, but the shock on her face is total. Her mouth is open, her eyes wide. She tries to speak but can't form words. The audience explodes, not in laughter this time, but in absolute astonishment. Spontaneous applause and shouts of surprise fill the studio. Johnny Carson is on his feet, applauding, with an expression of complete disbelief. My God, Bruce, what was that? Bruce extends his hand to help Susan up. She takes his hand, still in shock, and he helps her to her feet. She's trembling slightly. She drops the cushion, which falls to the floor, and places her hands on her chest, checking if everything is okay. She tries to speak. I didn't expect. Bruce speaks calmly, but loud enough for everyone to hear. This is Kung Fu. It's not funny noises. It's not a movie trick. It's real power, generated through understanding of the body, physics, and years of training. The punch you just felt is called the 1-inch punch. I generated enough force from a distance of 1 inch to move you through space. This isn't magic. It's science. It's technique. It's respect for the art. The studio is absolutely silent now. Susan Mitchell is no longer smiling. She's looking at Bruce with a completely different expression. Respect. Fear. Admiration. She swallows hard. Bruce, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I shouldn't have mocked. Bruce nods slightly. Many people don't know. They laugh at what they don't understand. But now you know. Now you've felt it. And maybe you won't laugh next time. Johnny Carson approaches, still processing what he just saw. Bruce, that was extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Could you do it again? Show the cameras in slow motion? Bruce smiles for the first time. Sure, Johnny. I can demonstrate other techniques too, if you want. For the next 10 minutes, Bruce Lee completely dominates the show. He demonstrates speed, showing punches so fast the cameras can barely capture them. He explains philosophy, talking about how martial arts aren't about violence, but about self-knowledge and discipline. He performs moves that leave the audience breathless. Susan Mitchell remains seated, quiet for the first time on the show. She watches, fascinated, all her previous arrogance completely evaporated. When Bruce finishes and sits back down, she turns to him. Bruce, I want to apologize properly. What I said was disrespectful and ignorant. You are clearly a master at what you do. Bruce accepts gracefully. Thank you, Susan. No need for apologies. You gave me the opportunity to show the truth. Sometimes you have to feel it to believe it. The show ends with Johnny asking Bruce to come back whenever he wants. The audience gives a standing ovation. Bruce waves humbly and leaves the stage. Backstage, crew members approach him, all wanting to shake his hand, ask questions, understand more. Susan Mitchell goes backstage too. She finds Bruce before he leaves. Bruce, wait. She now looks genuinely embarrassed, without the cameras, without the audience. I really apologize. I was stupid. Bruce shakes his head. You weren't stupid. You just didn't know. Now you know. Use this experience to be more open to what you don't understand. She nods, grateful. I will. Thank you for not hurting me. Bruce smiles. The cushion was there for a reason. I would never hurt someone in a demonstration. The goal isn't to injure. The goal is to educate. The recording airs 3 days later. 20 million Americans watch. The segment with Bruce Lee becomes instantly legendary. Newspapers write about it. Magazines want interviews. Suddenly, Bruce Lee is no longer a curiosity. He's a sensation. Film offers start pouring in. Producers want to build projects around him. Hollywood realizes there's something special here. Susan Mitchell, in later interviews, always tells this story. She never tries to hide it or downplay it. She says, "That was the moment that taught me to never judge something I don't understand." Bruce Lee humiliated me, but he did it with so much class that I could only respect him. He taught me a lesson I'll never forget. And Bruce Lee? He continues teaching, training, developing his philosophy. That night on The Tonight Show was just a moment, but it was the moment that showed America that Kung Fu was real, that there was depth behind the movements, that respect must be given to what you don't comprehend. 3 seconds, that's all it took. 3 seconds of pure demonstration to turn laughter into silence, mockery into respect, ignorance into admiration. And in those 3 seconds, Bruce Lee didn't just defend his art. He changed the perception of millions of people about what a small man with an accent from Hong Kong could really do.